Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy. My guest today is Linda Ugelow, who I met through the New England Podcasters group. And she also was a guest on my friend Andy's podcast, Don't Be Caged by Your Age. And so Linda actually spoke at the New England Podcasters group. Her topic is speaking confidently, which, as podcasters, really important. So many of us struggle with the how we look, how we sound, how we come off. And Linda also has her own podcast called Delight in the Limelight. So Linda, thank you so much for being here. I'm so thrilled to get to know you better.
I'm excited about this topic.
Woo! Yes. We have in the New England Podcasters group, we have a community of our own, and we all do a little intro of ourselves. And Linda approached me and she was like, I love gardening and doing things outside and, organic gardening and regenerative gardening, stuff like that. And so I think you were trying to get at this, but here we are now. I'm really thrilled because, like we were saying before we hit record, like, I feel like your situation is very relatable to most of us because it's not a business for you because you live just outside of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing all these really cool things to grow things, to nurture the soil, nurture the plants, and nurture the earth around you. And it's not like you don't have this like, I'm telling you what is correct. It's just this is just how you live. And I feel like it just like kind of seeps is not a great word, but kind of like oozes out of you. Like you're just a very tender, nurturing person. It just comes out of you. Anyway, so we're talking about gardening and taking care of the earth around you. And so I want to give you the chance to, one, fill in anything that I missed. And also, I'm curious where this comes from for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So why don't I pick it up from there? I remember the first time I ever really paid attention to growing things was my mom redesigned the backyard. She created like a hardscape in the backyard with a raised bed garden. And she took me way out on Long Island. I grew up on Long Island, way out on Long Island, and we bought herbs. And we made this herb garden. I thought, oh, this is so cool. And then it just kind of like planted a seed in my brain, so to speak.
Pun intended.
Oh, yeah. And then a few years later, I remember she ripped everything out that was herb and she put in flowers. And I thought, why are you growing flowers? Why not food we can eat? Let's grow things that we can actually utilize. And I was very anti-flowers for a while. Now I'm definitely not anti-flowers. I love growing flowers. I also love edible flowers. But my idea now is that I love this image and this experience of being able to pick from the wild. And what I see my yard as my cultivated wild. And it's some things that I've planted, some things I planted once and they just keep coming back, some things that I plant every year, like my vegetable garden. But I have experimented with a whole bunch of different things. I've had so many failures. Oh my God, I've killed so many trees, or they just never fruited. I know, and it takes so long to figure that out. Like I'll have a cherry tree for 5 or 6, 7 years. And then finally I say, okay, I give up. And I take it out and I try something else. So it's a very long game, to create or design an edible landscape is what I like to call it. And I have things that are, as I said, are vegetables that I may grow from seed or I might buy seedlings. There are weeds that come up. We harvest a lot of our tea. So my husband loves dandelions.
Oh, that's so
cool.
He
loves them, and I don't know why. I don't drink it very much, but every single day he has a tea mixture that he puts in some of the dandelions. So in spring, as soon as they come into flower, we dig them up, wash them. He chops into small pieces. We have a dehydrator that someone gave us, which was really nice. And so then we have a year's supply of dandelion, mixed leaves and roots and flowers. And then I have mint that has kind of totally taken over. It's like a mint field, which I'm always fighting with.
Oh, I have such big feelings about that because I love mint. Like people say,
Come on
plant it in
down.
a pot because it gets out of hand. I'm like, let it grow.
Come on down and have some of mine, because when I'm talking about a field, it's like it's not.
Oh, girl,
I'm
when I
not
get settled, I will want some mint. What kind of mint do you have?
Okay. I have a couple of kinds. I have something called apple mint, which is a fuzzy leaf. You do? I actually have it right. I just put it in my kombucha today.
I have some in my water.
Oh, wow. I love that too. Yeah, I like it in water. And then I have a peppermint that's, spicier. And oh, by the way, before I became an online coach and came into the whole online world, I did work for 6 years as an organic farmer.
Oh, okay.
I had been going to NOFA, which is Northeast Organic Farming Association, their summer conference, for many years, because it's not just for farmers, it's for people who like to grow things. And I learned how to grow great garlic and great tomatoes. And so I'd go for the workshops. And I was thinking, oh, these people are so cool. Wouldn't it be cool to be a farmer? And then one day, a friend of mine who lived in the next town said, hey, I'm thinking about clearing a 1/4 acre of land at my house and starting a little CSA. Do you want to do it with me? And I just leapt at the chance. That didn't work out, by the way. We did it for a few years, but it wasn't a good partnership. But it was such a huge learning experience for me.
That scares me. Like knowing that there's so much in play and there's so many variables that you have zero control
Oh my
over.
God, I had no idea. I mean, for instance, like here's one simple thing. Usually like a home garden, you buy stuff in the spring and you plant it and then you're done. But when you're a farmer, you're doing succession planting. So you have to keep track of how many times you're replanting the beets and the lettuce and the, whatever. There are some things you just plant one, like potatoes or tomatoes and peppers. But then there are things that you plant repeatedly. And it's complicated. It's like a whole jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
And then someone who was farming at a town on the other side of me moved away, and she said, do you want to take this place over? And it was this beautiful horse farm where they also raised pigs and chickens and turkeys and what else did they have there? I guess that was it. But it was just a outstanding location that was just a joy to go to every day. And I built a huge greenhouse, not a greenhouse, what are those high tunnels to grow in, and that was a real learning curve also. But I had a mentor at the time that was helping me out. But it was when I was working on the farm that I realized I was doing the wrong thing. This isn't what I was meant to do. But that's all to say, I gained a lot of experience from that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
sure.
I was trying to take care of my yard, and the farm was like 5 miles away, and I also had a community garden. I don't know how I did that all. I can hardly take care of my yard right now.
Right.
But so that's kind of like my background. So it started, as a teenager, and then I was like the last year, I always thought of myself as the last year of the hippie generation that wanted to make everything back to the earth. I was into spinning my own wool so I could knit my own hats, and I still have a hat that I knitted. And
that's so
when
fun.
I wanted, maybe it's my Taurus nature, but when I needed like a set of plates, I took a pottery class and I made myself plates. And
wow.
And then I learned how to sew clothes. So it was I was really into like making everything for myself. I don't do that kind of thing anymore.
Yeah.
But
I want to learn how to do it all. I don't think there's enough time in the day to do it all.
right.
Hence the community situation that I'm hoping for. But I want to understand how to do it. Like even as a podcaster, like I don't enjoy editing, but I don't want to outsource that personally, because I feel like if something fell through, I'd be lost. But, as far as like, I don't know
I mean,
about,
if you didn't know how to do it yourself.
yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. If I hired someone and they didn't show up or they didn't do the thing or whatever, like, then I'm like out of time and out of luck. Like, I wouldn't know where to start. But as far like, I don't know about pottery. I don't like getting my hands all sticky and dirty and stuff. But
What? And you've had chickens? Really?
oh yeah. But like, I can't. I'm still working on sourdough bread. Like, I can make sourdough and I can cook with the sourdough, like add the discard into baked goods. But as far as bread, when my hands get sticky, I'm done. Like, I feel it's like a claustrophobic feeling, and it's very weird, and it makes me feel really uneasy. But so like, I feel like clay would be a similar
Similar.
thing for me.
Yep. Yep.
But I enjoy homemade plates and stuff.
Yeah. So then you don't really like getting your hands in the soil either.
Well, I love getting my hands in the soil.
Oh.
It just falls off. But clay, I don't know.
Something sticky.
I'm
Mm.
also weird and quirky, and I don't have an explanation.
Yeah. Well, hey.
I also don't like wearing shoes. I mean, I wear sandals, but shoes make my feet feel claustrophobic.
Yeah. Actually, I have a friend who's the same way. Summer, winter, she wears her Birkenstocks with socks.
Socks or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wearing them right now. No socks because it's hot.
Right.
Anyway, I love that you did that phase, because you have this well-rounded like understanding of how things work. And now, having tried all these things, you can say that's really fun. I'm glad to know that. I'll let someone else do it. Or if something were to fall through, you're like, I've done it before. I could do it again, right?
Yeah.
But so you had mentioned, so edible landscape. I just love that. I love that term, because I've heard it said so many different ways. Like, the one that kind of boggles my mind is foodscape. And I
Mhm.
don't really understand that.
Well, I think the idea is that you grow things in your environment that you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I
But
love edible landscape
I like
because
edible landscape. It has a nice rhythm to it. Foodscape feels a little more
it feels structured.
yeah.
For me, that feels structured.
Yeah.
And so edible landscape, I have this vision in my head of your property. And
Mhm.
there's like lots of wildflowers and lots of herbs and stuff like that. Do you grow your mint in pots?
No. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with pots, and I'm terrible with houseplants. I'm sure I could learn, but I just don't have the inclination to. No, I have everything mostly in the ground. I mean, I do, like, for instance, I did buy some bare root strawberry plants this year that were on sale. I haven't had big strawberries in the ground for a while. I have woodland strawberries that have taken over.
The little wild ones.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
little wild ones, yes. And actually, I was going to rip them out, and then this year they're all in fruit, and I thought, okay,
Maybe next year.
maybe next year, yeah. But I did buy these bare roots, and I put them in pots rather than just in the ground because they look dead. And I thought, I don't want to plant them in the ground. I want to be able to keep my eye on them. So they're on my front porch in pots, waiting for. And in the next week, they most of them actually came back to life. I was shocked. I mean, they looked horrible.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's what you get when you buy them on sale, and they're the dregs, they're at the end.
Right.
But they actually, most of them are looking pretty good. So I'm excited about putting those in. But I very rarely grow in pots. I'm just like, it's got to go in the ground, and it's got to be able to survive without tender care because I
Right.
travel a lot. And this summer I happen to be around mostly, but there can be times that I'm gone for 4 or 6 weeks, and I need things to be able to be kind of sustainable on their own.
Yeah. Right. That sounds fun. 4 to 6 weeks away. I like I said, I love mint. Like, I'm like, if somebody wants to mow that would be the most amazing smell
Oh, it is.
to
Just
mow
stepping
mint
on it.
down. But
Yeah.
I'm also like, I will dry mint and I will have it as tea all winter long, or I'll put it fresh in hot water or cold water. Like, it's let it grow.
Yeah.
The flowers are beautiful. The bugs love it. The bees love it. And it smells so dang good.
Yeah. It's just when it chokes other things out that I want.
Yeah. You want to
Yeah.
tame it.
And the roots get really, really intertwined and thick like a mat. So it's, once you want to, it's not as bad as blackberry brambles. Blackberry brambles are the bane of my existence.
Mm,
But
yeah.
well,
My friend that I'm staying with right now, when she bought her house 6 years ago, she was working for almost 6 years on they had raspberries that were growing crazy, and she's been trying to rip them out, and I'm like, oh my gosh. As a jam maker, I'm like, oh, knowing how
I've
expensive
ripped out
raspberries are.
I've ripped out raspberries and I've like replanted them on another side of the property, and I've been so happy I did that. I mean, they can get really out of control. And then it's hard to navigate it, and the fruit isn't that good when it gets that dense.
Okay.
They need some spacing, so they do need care.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right. That's good
yeah,
to know.
I have raspberries, now I have strawberries. These are the common fruits. For berries, I have gooseberries. Those are great because they're really easy to grow.
Are gooseberries like the little baby kiwi,
Uh,
or are they different than that?
they're round and they can be green to pink to red, depending on the cultivar, and they're tart. And they're ripe right now. They're just coming into ripeness around the 4th of July.
I guess I don't know
And
gooseberries.
then there's now currants aren't legal in at least Eastern Massachusetts because they carry something called pine rust or something like that. And I actually illegally got some currants some years ago, and it did kill a pine tree that I had.
Whoops.
Whoops. That's okay. I survived. But let's see, I have blackberries, raspberries. Oh, grapes. We have great grapes. And they're table grapes, and they're different kinds without seeds. They are so delicious, and
Mm,
I just feel so grateful that grapes grow well.
you're killing me, Linda. That sounds incredible.
So, strawberries, blackberries. Um, y- yeah, we do have something. We don't have currants anymore, but we do have this cross between a currant and a gooseberry called jostaberry. And I really like them because, first of all, they're sweeter. They have no thorns, whereas gooseberries are thorny.
They're not
And,
going to kill the pine trees.
and they're not going to kill the pine tree. Yeah, they've been very nice community members of the landscape.
They get along well with everyone.
They get along well. And then I also have like small, like what are they called? Not standard size fruit trees, but like semi-dwarf. That's what it's called. And I have peaches, I have pears. I do have one cherry tree. For some reason this year we don't have any, but that happens. Apricot. I had this amazing apricot tree and it got so heavy it broke. And it's taken me like 4 years to remember to order it and then try it out. And at first I replanted it in the same place that the old one was. And then I found out you can't do that. So this is what I mean. Like you make a mistake and it's like you don't get another chance till next year. So it's really a long game.
Mhm.
And then another tree that we had that was amazing. We had this ever-bearing mulberry tree. And it was all summer long we had mulberries and they were so good. They were some mulberry trees, they're so sweet, they don't have any tartness and they're kind of insipid. They're too sweet.
Right.
But this mulberry, it's called a Illinois everbearing, is just magnificent. So I have one that's on its way. It's on its way growing. I've had it for a few years and it's making its way. So it'll be a few more years before I have that again. But those are the big trees. But my favorite things are really the uncommon berries and
Tell me
bushes.
about the uncommon berries.
So one is pawpaw. So pawpaw is Massachusetts, it's out of range. So I have to hand pollinate pawpaws. I go out in May and with a paintbrush and I figured out from YouTube what the male flower pollen look like, and now I will take off some of the flowers that have the pollen, and I bring it over to another tree and I paint it, and I have a ton of pawpaws. They look kind of like the flat mangoes, and they have these beautiful pits inside, and around it is kind of like a custardy flavor that's a cross between a date and a peach.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love them. I just love them. And they ripen in September and October.
Okay.
So, but unfortunately, they put up all these suckers.
Mm-hmm.
So every year, about 20 hours, I am digging out these suckers. It's just it's a pain. It's a
Wow.
total pain. But
How many trees do you have of that?
I have 6.
And they're all putting suckers out.
Yeah, and 2 of
sounds
them
like a
are
chore.
actually were from suckers, and I decided, well, there's space here. I'm just going to let them grow.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but
All right.
they're really good. And there are cultivars, so you can also get them just seedlings, the cultivars, they might be bigger, they might be sweeter, they might ripen earlier, they might have some little changes to them.
Okay.
That's a great one.
Yeah. Can you tell me, if a pawpaw is out of range, and I'm just asking because I don't know much about them at all. I've heard of pawpaws, but I've never seen one or eaten one. If it's out of range in Massachusetts, how did you get it?
Well, you can buy them. And they do grow in zone 6, which I am in zone 6. What I mean out of range is that there aren't any natural pollinators up here. So
Okay.
that's why I have to hand pollinate them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
so I have a love-hate relationship with those. Some of the really, really fun, we have right now, what's in bloom, not in fruit, is gumi, Goumi, gumi fruit. And it's, there are these tiny silvery red berries, and they have a big pit in them. So there's not a lot of fruit around it. And they're somewhat astringent. Astringent is like when your mouth gets puckery, and a little tart and sweet. So they're fun to eat. They're tiny, not tiny, tiny, but they're small, like a half an inch long. So it's not like a peach that you can bite
Right.
into, but you can put it in your mouth and you scrape the fruit off of the pit and then spit it out. And I was just today looking up, okay, what can I do with this? Because we have a ton of them. It's like
It sounds kind of like a cherry.
It's like a drupe. It's like a long. It's not round. It's more
like a teardrop.
Yeah, it's elongated. Yeah, like an oval.
Interesting.
And we just have a ton of them right now. So I'm thinking, okay, what can we do with them? Probably, I don't know, maybe a juice or syrup or something like that. And then similar to that, we have something called cornelian cherry, which is larger. It's depending on the variety, it could be like 1.5 inches long. And it also has a pit in the middle, but it's not relatively as big as the gumi pit.
Okay.
And that we have, I'll do some eating off the tree, but I mostly like to cook it, and we can make some jam or syrup out of it.
And that's called what again?
It's called cornelian cherry. It's a dogwood. It's in the dogwood family.
Oh, okay.
What kind of a dogwood? It's have you?
I think so. I mean, it's
there's also
it's bumpy.
the Kusa No, that's the bumpy ones is Kusa dogwood. Those are fabulous also, and I have that as well. Cornelian cherry is what's the Latin name? Is Cornus mas, M-A-S. Cornelian dogwood, yes. So, yeah, both of those dogwoods are fabulous.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I only just learned about that a couple of years ago. Somebody I think I answered a call for flowers or something like that. And so she gave me this vase of flowers and she was like, "Did you know that you can eat these?" And I was like, "What? No, it's a dogwood."
I know. And they are delicious now. That's delicious fresh eating. It's kind of a little weird. Like you open it up and there are these round seeds in it, but you kind of like suck it into your mouth and you squeeze out all the good flavor and then spit it out. But yeah, that is good
You
fresh
spit it
eating.
out in your hand so you can replant them and get more.
Well, I guess so. I guess if you have room, I live in suburbia, so like space is an issue.
Yeah. Well,
Definitely.
it sounds like you filled it well.
I'm working on it. I am working on it. Let me see what I have. I made a list. I have tried hazelnuts and we have gotten them, but the squirrels just get them first. They get them
Oh, well,
before they're
sure.
ripe, and so it's for us to pick them unripe, it's just they're not very good. So I'm working on pulling them out, but I'd say that's a failure. We have lots of daylilies now. There used to be daylily roots are edible, and if daylily flowers are edible. I've used a lot of daylily flowers in salad, but the roots, there once was a restaurant in our next town that really loved unusual produce. So I used to dig up daylily roots for
Oh,
them and bring it over, but I went to the restaurant once and they were serving them and I thought, "No, I don't think this is really that good."
I was going to ask, like, what do they taste like? And is there anything like,
They're a little bit like potato, but not even potato is sweeter.
okay,
It has a lot of sugar starch, and this was more like earthy.
okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I was told that you can eat a Jerusalem artichoke like a potato,
Well, yeah.
and it did
It's
not
similar
work
to
for me.
Jerusalem artichoke. Yeah.
It did
It's
not
kinda like,
work for
I
me.
don't know. It doesn't float my boat. But
It
they are
didn't like
edible.
mash up like a potato. It was more like a rutabaga, so it was like chunky and I don't.
Rutabaga, I happen to like.
I love
Yeah.
rutabaga,
Yeah. I'll even eat
but it
them.
doesn't mash as fluffy as potatoes. It's chunky, and that's
Yeah. Yeah. I just planted hostas because I was reading at how delicious hostas were.
I heard that too.
And I guess, deer love them. So they know it tastes good.
Right.
So I just planted them this year, and next year I'll try harvesting them. Something else that I have harvested wild is brain blank. It's the monarch butterfly bush plant that
Oh,
milkweed,
yep.
milkweed. So milkweed shoots are very good. And when they're small, I have harvested them and steamed them like asparagus. And I like them very, very much.
Do they have the same side effect as asparagus?
In terms of urine?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I I don't know that I heard that about the milkweed. I know that there's something. I feel the black forager, what is her name? Alexa Nicole, I think is her name on Instagram. She made a milkweed cocktail.
Oh, maybe with the flowers.
Yeah,
The
probably.
flowers smell so good. And do people do like infuse the flowers? Like you can, like with elderflower
Mm-hmm.
syrup, you can make like a milkweed flower syrup.
Right. But you can eat the shoots. And
Yes.
by shoots, is that like the stems?
Yes, when they come out, like when they're like less than 10 inches, like 8 to 10 inches. Yep.
They're
And you just
tender.
steam them. Yeah.
Mm.
Another fabulous thing, I don't have this on my property, but I once created a dinner that was all wild foods like violet green soup and strawberry, what is this? Knotweed. You know, knotweed, Japanese knotweed. It's
Yeah.
so invasive, but
Yeah.
the shoots, the early shoots, you peel them and it's better than rhubarb. It
You-
is so delicious. And apparently it's really healthy. It has resveratrol, anti-cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Resveratrol is like the s- anti-aging? Is that what it's
anti-aging
known
and
for?
anti-cancer. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
So for a while, I at the farm that I was farming at, they had a lot of milkweed. So I harvest not milkweed, knotweed. So I would harvest there and I would juice it, and I made it into like ice cubes, and we drink it that way, like in a cocktail or something. I don't drink alcohol, so it would be a mocktail.
Okay.
And
That's
another
really
thing I
interesting.
got from the farm that I planted in my forest, I have a little tiny, tiny forest.
I love that.
And I put in nettles. And I love nettles. I made this year nettle spanakopita. It was
What?
so
So
delicious.
it,
Yes.
like, instead of spinach?
Instead of spinach, yes. And we love nettle potato soup. Just adore it. I'll make it and freeze it, and we have it in the winter.
Okay. So
It's
nettles are super pokey, but
yes. So you do. So I have a system.
I bet.
I have a system. So
That's why we're here, Linda.
I take a paper bag. I have my left hand has a glove on it, like a gardening glove. And then my right hand, I just scissor, I just
So you cut
cut
the
the
pokey
top,
off.
drop it into the bag. When the bag is full, I heat up a pot, just not full of water, boiling, but maybe a quarter or half full, a big pot. And I just turn the bag over right into the water. I don't touch it otherwise. And it just boils. And it boils down. I rinse it out, and then I have it to make into anything I want, whether it's the spanakopita or if it's the soup, or if I want to make a green stir fry or something.
Okay. And so nettles they're very pokey, but they also have like the stingy.
Well, no, they're not pokey. They have this stingy thing. So if you touch it, it stings you for like 15 minutes. It's funny though, like in Northern European countries at the spas, like when you go to a sauna, one of the things that they'll do is like switch you with nettles because it's supposed to be healthful. It brings it's used for rheumatism or arthritis. It brings
So
blood
like to
to the
wake up the
surface.
blood vessels and stuff,
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah. It's like getting a bee sting or something on purpose.
Okay. I was thinking of like was it koi, the fish that bite the skin on your feet?
Oh, I don't think I would like that.
I don't think I would like that either. But it's literally a spa treatment. It's
Yeah.
crazy to me. Like I'm not big on the spa treatment anyway, but I don't know how I feel about being smacked with a stingy thing.
Yeah, I'm not into that either. That's why I don't touch it, but
But you can eat it.
I love the flavor. It tastes so green. It tastes like you're eating chlorophyll. And it does have a little bit of a fuzzy texture. That's why I like I like it chopped up as it would be in the spanakopita, or in the soup I puree it. So it's so delicious and so
Okay.
easy to make. Yeah, so that is a total favorite of mine. Let me see what else
I
I
know
have.
herbalists are totally into the stinging nettles, but
Yes.
I never
Yeah.
thought about eating them.
Yeah,
I
I
know that
used
you
to
could.
dry them. I used to dry it in the dehydrator and have it as tea, but I rather eat them, I realized. I just like eating them, like the taste. I suppose, something I've never done was taking my dried nettles and cook them, like throwing
Like
them.
rehydrate.
Yeah, dehydrate them to store it, and then, because I figure it's just as easy for me, since we have a freezer in the basement, for me to make a soup, and then it's done, and then all I'll have to do is defrost
Hmm.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you have it dried, it doesn't require the electricity to store it, and then you can just toss some into a soup or something.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, so I
interesting.
I might try that. Maybe I'll try that. Yeah.
Interesting. I love the foraging talk, just like, what you can do with I did not know you could eat daylilies. I think of lilies as poisonous to pets, but I think is it mainly the Easter lily?
Daylilies, maybe it's the, Asian lilies, yeah,
Yeah.
daylilies are edible. Yeah.
So it's
The
the
other I mean
super stinky ones that are bad for
yeah,
animals.
yeah. I mean, violet leaves are also something I used to sell those for, like, $6 for an ounce, $4 an ounce of picking violet leaves for them
Uh
to
that's that's manual labor.
it's a lot of manual labor.
Oh
I used to
gosh.
so this is what would happen. I'd let my, like, arugula and the kale and everything would go to flower, and I thought, "Well, I'll just pick this and sell it," and I would just charge more money because it was labor intensive. So I would sell arugula flowers and kale flowers, and the restaurants are always looking for unusual garnishes and stuff, so they bought it. They bought it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And that's actually speaks to, some of the things that you can do that I think are really easy for people to like plant once and then they come back again every year. So those things are like coriander. If you get a little bunch of coriander growing, and it goes to seed and you let it drop, you'll have a little field
It'll
there next
seed
year.
itself.
Same thing with dill. That's another great one to grow. And also, okay, here's my favorite top crop, garlic. So what I have done is now there's a way of planting garlic to grow bulbs of garlic, and you plant a single clove,
Mm-hmm.
turns into a bulb.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you leave that in the ground more than 1 year, suddenly you've got the next year you'll have, let's say it's a bulb of garlic that has 5 cloves. Then you'll have 5 that come out of it in one spot.
Will they be stunted because they're so close together?
There'll be what I call green garlic or green scallions. So what I do, I have a small field that's mixed with a peppermint of this kind of garlic that just kind of like grows, and it's way too close together. But in the spring, I will pull it out, and it might be. I look for ones that are like my pinky size, but a lot of them are smaller. And before they go to scape, so garlic scapes is that curly thing that comes out. So it's got to be May the latest. Into June, it's already too late, but April, May, I pull these out. My Bulgarian friend Tanya taught this to me. I pull them out, clean them up. So that means I pull down the outer leaves so that it's a clean bulb, cut off the root, and I chop it up into small pieces. And I have a ton of this. And then I mix it with salt. I pack it into a 1/2-gallon jar, and then I pour like a whole liter of olive oil over it. So it
Ooh,
seeps
so like
through.
infused olive oil.
So it's garlic that's infused with salt and olive oil. I have 3 jars right now, 1/2 gallons in my refrigerator. I made them in May. They'll keep till like January, February. And it's amazing. My husband, every single morning, he'll make his eggs, taking a big spoonful of this stuff into the pan because it's olive oil,
Right.
and
For
and
cooking.
it's kind of like mild garlic. And then he'll throw in shiitake mushrooms, and then he'll throw his eggs in, and that's what he eats every single day.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, so
it's
what
such
I
a
love
great
about
thing.
this, Linda, is that it's not just like one, you're finding several uses for different plants.
Yes,
It's not like this is used for this and this is used for this. Like this, like the milkweed, is great for the pollinators, the butterflies, and you can make this liqueur with the flowers, but you can also eat the shoots. Like this is just it's all these things are wild food. So
right,
it's
right.
so it doesn't have to be out of range price wise. Sometimes it grows whether you want it to or not, but making use of what's around you is
Hmm.
so smart.
Yeah.
And so if somebody were to if somebody were to find plants like this and be like, I have no idea what to do with this. This is my thing all the time. Like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. I should probably get some of that and pick it and whatever. But then I'm like, what do I actually want to do with that? So,
Yeah,
um,
that's a perfect question, because it's like I don't want to grow stuff that I'm not going to really use.
right.
Garlic is something I use every day.
Mm-hmm.
I use this mixture that I mentioned every day, and I also grow garlic bulbs. So, but I have learned to only grow a certain amount of garlic bulbs because we have this other garlic stuff that we really like using.
Right.
So, you just learn over the years what you want.
So you
But
like you plant the garlic and you leave a few when you're harvesting.
well, where I plant my garlic bulbs, I don't leave that for.
Okay, it's intentional
It's an
elsewhere.
intentional spot where I don't mind that it's just kind of like overgrown.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
That's really cool. So it's just totally intentional, but one garlic clove becomes 5 garlic
Yeah,
cloves because
and then if you want to just grow that little patch, then you spread them out and you let them grow there. But you're not growing them for the bulbs, you're growing them for the spring scallion of it.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And so, we talk about all these things that you're growing and that you've learned to utilize. And I know you had said a few things in your guest forum. One was like yard work is fitness, but you also said your yard as emotional regulation. And I
Yeah.
know you and I were talking about chickens, but absolutely, like if you're in the garden and you're smelling the smells and you've got the mint all around you and you've got the milkweed and the flowers and the insects buzzing around, like how can that not be like just so grounding and so peaceful?
Yeah. Well, I have to admit or confess that there were a few years that I wasn't doing much at all out there. I was just in front of my desk. I was driven. I felt like I didn't have time to I wasn't making time to do that kind of emotional regulation. And this year, I've committed myself to every morning I'm out there, I'm just walking around and looking at everything, just
Hmm.
looking. And I was outside with my husband the other night, and I said, look at how everything here has like a different energy. Like the garlic, for instance, right now, that patch that is kind of like overgrown, I left the scapes on. So now they're like these white little pods up, and it's this
Mm.
textural thing. It has a certain frequency or vibration. And then you've got the dahlia plants, which are kind of bushy and dense and organized, and they have a certain rhythm and feeling about them. And then the mint has a different shade of green, and everything. It's like when we stop to think, okay, how can I align my energy or tune my energy to these other natural things around me,
Yeah.
then we build up I don't know, a thread of communication. Maybe it's all projection in our mind, because that's what we do as humans. But what do you think about that kind of stuff?
I think, I mean, as you were talking about uh, get, getting in tune to the frequency, I'm thinking of like, because I'm a cat person, like if you're holding a cat and they're purring, like you get that rhythm going and then you start to like calm your breathing to be in
Yeah.
sync with them. Like
Hmm.
the plants also have that. I mean, I have a friend who's an herbalist and she has I don't know what it's called, but the little instrument that will like project the frequency that they're creating.
Wow.
And that's wild to me, but it all makes sense. Like
Mhm.
it's all alive, it all has energy and it has energy. And so of course, it just makes a ton of sense.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then when you have when your overgrown area, like when the wind blows and it just like waves.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was just on a farm last weekend and they had really they were growing hay. And so the grass was like, I don't know, 3, 4 feet tall and it was windy and so they're just swaying and I was like just like in awe, just like loving that.
Yeah.
Um, because I know so many places where I've been lately in the last couple years, people are obsessed with their grass. And I don't care about grass. I don't care about it at all. I like you were telling me before, like, why are we growing flowers and not food? Um, and I'm all for flowers too. Like companion planting, a-okay by me. And we need all of it, but like grass has zero purpose.
Mhm.
But like the hay was just so beautiful. And I know they had bobolink birds like sitting on top of the hay. And oh gosh, it was just beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one thing I'm trying to get to grow in my lawn more is clover because we have
Hmm.
some rabbits and they if there's clover around, they'll hang out in the clover rather than chomp on the seedlings. So
Yep.
that's something that I've been
Yeah, for sure.
eager to I tried in the spring and it failed.
Oh.
Said a lot of failures, but in the fall I might try again. I realized I need to put the compost down on the grass so it has some soil to connect with. It I just didn't do a good job.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. I mean, and to coexist and be there not just for the plants but for the animals as well, knowing that they have definitely a part in the whole plan.
Whether we like it or not, we live in
Like
an
it or
animal's
not.
world.
Yep. Yeah, and planting something specifically for them to let you have some food too.
Mhm.
Okay, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then you had also said um yard work for satisfaction and fun. And so that's, kind of what we're talking about right now. But I love that because it's not all like work and purpose, but just like it brings a certain feeling that you can't sometimes it feels like it's hard to really put into words that what you feel. And that's sort of like my goal of living on a farm is to have people come and feel that feeling because it's so hard to express for me.
Mm, mhm.
Just the groundingness and just feeling so connected. Like I'm not quite sure how to put it into words, um, but satisfaction is a really good word.
I think it's also something, at least for me, and I imagine it's for a lot of people, that you have to make space for it. Like, it's very easy to think, oh, I've got to go out and do this work in the yard. And you're not taking the time to appreciate the yard. That it's not just, it's like you're creating something of beauty or something that's functionally, useful.
Right.
But if you're not really taking the time to relish and savor the fruits of your labor as
So
in
to
both
speak. Yeah.
ways,
Yep.
then we're really missing out. And I think this, as I said, this year, I feel like I'm even more dedicated to giving myself that time and space to just like wander around and appreciate things and not to look with a critical eye like it's so easy to say, "Oh God, I have to do that. Oh my God, I've got to do this." And
Right.
rather than to look at things as more to on your to-do list, but rather to look around and see it as evidence of abundance.
Ooh, yes. That that's perfect. That's perfect. Evidence of abundance. And I was thinking about that as well. Like sort of, we're not planting plants in a garden and a lawn for a job. We're doing it, there's a purpose and not just for us, but for, the rabbits and the birds and everyone else. That's
It's kind of like if we want this paradise on earth, it's like it's a way to create little bits of paradise around us.
yeah. And there's give and take, but it shouldn't necessarily be an obligation, but like, you're choosing to do that.
Mhm.
Okay. This is beautiful. I'm like, I want to come visit you. I want to
Oh,
come visit
please
you.
do. I want to have I was thinking the other day I wanted to, like, invite people over for dinner and a permaculture walk and a ceremony, and doesn't
Ooh,
that
that
sound
sounds
nice?
fun.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. And I feel like it would be really fun if a bunch of people did like a garden tour. Is that what it's called when people will go to different, and like see what's growing and what's doing well and get inspiration for your own. I think that's super fun. Um okay, this is so I'm just gonna. So, what does the word sustainability mean to you, Linda?
I was thinking about this, and of course, it would be obvious if I said something about, like, the earth, but actually what came up for me was how our energy and our output of energy needs to be rejuvenated and regenerated. And what I'm thinking of specifically actually comes back to speaking. And I often will say to people, like, allow your audience and the to to feed you, to come back as nourishment. Like,
Oh,
to imagine that the attention that people are offering you is a gift, and that you can receive it. And through that, rather than feeling like speaking and sharing is a one-way street, it's more circular. And when we allow it to nourish us and to infuse us with extra energy, then we have more to give. So it's kind of a cycle of energy that goes around. And I guess we could say the same thing with the garden, that we participate in, we co-create. It can work the same way, that it comes back to you.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this idea of communication working in this way also, because I feel like as humans it's our design to speak. And we often have ideas and limiting ideas and beliefs about what it requires to speak in public or be on a podcast or put ourselves out there, even in, at meetings or going to
Mm-hmm.
networking or whatever. We think, oh, it's going to be so draining. I'm an introvert, so I'm using kind of like that kind of language, but that it doesn't have to be, that we can, as we learn to receive. And I think we were talking about receiving, weren't we?
We were
Uh,
talking about receiving. Indeed.
when we learn to receive, the attention as the gift it is, that our we have this feeling of being able to sustain ourselves and sustain our communication, and it feels worthwhile.
I love that you brought it back to speaking. So on that note, that's beautiful. I know that I missed something because you have a book, and if you want to talk about your podcast and your book a little bit, so people know,
I actually have
what you're
two. I
actually
have
doing.
two books. So I have Delight in the Limelight, which is a guide to overcoming the fear of speaking. And I call it Delight in the Limelight because I don't see it as something to just survive, but
Uh-huh.
to thrive. And that we deserve to delight in all of our limelight moments. So I'm all about helping people get to the place of clearing whatever the root causes are, all the kind of like the shit and stuff from the past that needs to get resolved in order for us to be able to be present, and also to clear up the way we think, because a lot of times we're worried about what other people think of us, but we can be our own meanest critics. So
Amen.
that's an important part. The book goes through my framework, which is reveal and heal the root causes, restore a sense of safety, so that's inside ourselves, and then to repattern our habits is just kind of like a fancy way of saying learning new skills, and learning new skills in a way that's creative and fun and meaningful, in terms of like learning to love the sound of our voices and learning to love, expressing ourselves with our bodies, and changing the way we express ourselves, so that we're not just thinking, oh, the real me is just me now, that may be conditioned on past things that made me inhibited, but the me that maybe could have been or and can be when I have stepped beyond that past conditioning.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
And
that's what
that
Delight
was
in.
one book.
That's one book. And the other one is actually a journal, and it's called the Speaker Login Journal. And it is a for people to intentionally be reflective about the times that they are either speaking or on podcasts or going to networking events or leading workshops, that they can be intentional both in how they want to prepare and also how they want to debrief the experience.
Okay. And the podcast is an
Delight in the Limelight also. Yes.
extension of the book.
Yes. So it's an extension of the book, and I bring on other guests who have other angles to contribute in terms of speaking confidence or different areas of speaking confidence, like negotiation and sales. Actually, I did a really fun one recently on speaking confidence with your dog.
Oh, interesting. I'll have to check
Yes.
that out because that's something that is that like making sure that when you speak to them, they listen. Because that
Well,
is
yeah, and speaking, it's kind of like, do you know there's a book that was written like how to speak to your kids so they will listen, how to speak to kids so they'll listen, and listen so they'll talk, or something like that. And I feel like this is kind of a similar kind of thing with the dog
uh-huh.
perspective, like how to speak so your dogs listen, and how to listen to your dogs.
Ooh, okay. Yep, definitely listening to that one. And you're also a yoga teacher, yes?
No, I'm not a
No,
yoga teacher. I am a dance facilitator. So my background is actually in dance movement therapy.
that's right.
And I do facilitate ecstatic dance and something called authentic movement, and play around with those ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like, aside from speaking, we're all movers, we have bodies that move. That's why I have on my desk, I have, would you please move your body? Because
And
even
I
I
love that you
forget.
say please in that, not like
I do, and I
move.
have it circled. I have it circled. Will you please move my body? Move your body.
That's awesome. And so how can people find you? How can people learn more about, or if you're in Massachusetts and you want to come get a tour?
That's right. Let me know. So my email is linda@lindaugelow.com. And you can find me on every platform, and my website is Linda Ugelow.
Okay.
Ugelow.
Okay. And I'll have links in the show notes, you guys. But Linda, is there anything that I missed asking that you feel like um is necessary to share before we
I
close
don't
up?
think it's necessary. No, I
Okay.
think we covered a lot of stuff. I mean, we didn't really get into the whole fitness idea. Um, Maybe I'll just say one thing, that
Okay.
it used to be that I tried to make everything in the garden physically easier for myself. And now I kind of do the opposite. I see I wanna hold the watering can as it's filling with water, because those minutes that I'm holding it and it's filling up, I am building my strength.
Yeah.
I wanna make an extra trip with my cart because that's more steps. So I'm just, like, thinking a little bit differently about working in my garden and making it be more work rather than less work, because I feel like this is instead of me belonging to a gym.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a twofer
Yes,
that
it's
way.
super, yeah.
Yeah, I do that similarly. Like when I had my garden before, I had like a garden closest to the house, and then there were little raised beds down at the bottom of the yard. And so I instead of like getting an irrigation system, I like carried the watering can. I two watering cans, one in each hand, and I carried them up and down the hill. Um and it wasn't like it wasn't necessarily a money thing, but I was like, it's cool. Like I'm building some muscle and I'm getting some exercise and this is good.
Yeah, it
Um,
is good. It's so important. And so I'm 71 now, and I feel like muscle loss is a real thing. So to me, it's very high priority.
any chance to build and not
Anything to build
lose.
muscle, yeah.
Sure. Okay. Very good. Well, oh my goodness. This is so fun. I cannot wait to get into your area and like get that tour.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely have to stop by. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys have any questions about how to use uncommon foods or foraging or anything like that, like, feel free to reach out to Linda. She's been doing it for a little bit and she's got some great tips. And if you want to check out her books, or her podcast, everything's on our website. And I think that's it. But thank you so much, Linda. This has been so fun, and
It
I
was so great.
appreciate the beauty that you're creating in your little corner of the world.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel that I take stewardship seriously.
I
Yeah.
love that. I think that's sort of a really important point of the whole thing. Like, it's not just like, yeah, we're going to plant a garden, we're going to have some food, but like really nurturing that. And that's what really struck me with you. It's a nurturing, it's an appreciation, it's a reciprocal relationship, not just like, this is my garden, I give it water and I pick the fruit. There's like a literal relationship. There's a give and take, or a give and receive, or And so I think that's so important, to feel that connection in any way that we can, and just take as good a care as we can of the little spot that we're on.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share.
Yay.